So, welcome to this week's Yoga Biz coaching session. I'm Leah, I run Start Your Yoga Biz. Today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about a few tips I want to share for new business owners, new yoga business owners. So if you're joining me live, give me a little wave when you are here so that I know you're live, and let me know what you're doing. Do you work in studios at the moment, or are you running your own classes and your own events? So whether you are a studio-based teacher, if you're in the studio model at the moment, or you run your own events, you're a business owner either way, okay? If you are, responsible for your income and for your taxes, you are a business owner. Hi guys, hi Tina. Hi guys. So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes for anyone who wants to join in on the live. So I just said, if you've just joined me now, let me know what you are doing in your business. Do you work in a studio model? Are you employed by another studio or a gym? Do you freelance around, or do you run your own show, or do you kind of do a little bit of everything? I know what it's like in the beginning, 25 classes a week. Madness, isn't it? So just let me know. Hi guys, let me know what you're doing, kind of where you're at the moment. That helps me to be able to direct this session to a place where it's helpful for you. Tina's teaching online from home. Yes, well, aren't we all? I'm only just branching back out into studios, but you know what? It feels so weird to go back into like real life classes now. I've been online for so long. Yeah, so just waiting. A few more people are joining us on Insta. So I'm on Instagram and I'm live in the Facebook community. Oh, technology galore. Thank God for technology at this time though, right? So yeah, today I'm talking about what I wish someone had told me when I first set up my business. I'm not necessarily talking yoga business, I'm talking years ago when I first set up my dance and fitness business. And I've just taken that model and I've taken that model into my yoga business. Hi Fabian. So yeah, whether you work for other establishments or you run your own classes, you are a business owner. You are responsible for your income and you're responsible for your tax returns, therefore you own a business. So first things first is I want to say avoid trying to do everything at the same time, okay? If you are like me, I work much better under pressure, okay? I need dates and schedules and things like that to run by, but I have learned over the years that you can't manage loads of projects at the same time, okay? So the first tip is to get really clear on what you want right now. And it's absolutely fine that within your yoga business, you will have different branches of your business. So maybe you have private clients, maybe you have a monthly workshop, maybe you have, regular classes you teach, maybe you run a big retreat every year. So you're gonna have all these different branches of your business, but you can't do everything at the same time, or you can't do everything really well at the same time. You'll just end up being a bit half-assed, okay? So get really clear on what you're working on right now. So even if that means you spend, a week, a month working on one branch of your business, and you spend another week, a month working on another branch of your business, what's really important right now. And from my advice, my point of view is spend your most energy and time on what is helping you pay the bills right now. Okay, so if you've got a big retreat coming up in a couple of months and you're really excited to get stuff going on that and work on that, that's not paying your bills right now. Right now, your regular classes and staying connected with your students is probably what's bringing your income in, okay? So focus on what's really important right now. Be clear on what you're doing and break it down as and when you need to. I'm really sorry about the lighting on this today because I have a massive window here in my office and, English weather. The sun is out and in and out and in. Anyway, I digress. Second tip is once you know what you're working on, once you know who you're talking to, we talk a lot about your potential new audience, your target audience, your niche. Make sure that you are being visible. And it's really important, keep in your mind, you are not finding your students, okay? You wouldn't go up to someone on the street and say, oh, I'm a yoga teacher, come to my class. It would be a bit weird and creepy, okay? But if someone approached you and said, I heard you're a yoga teacher, I'd like to know a little bit more about it, that's them sourcing you. So whether you're advertising online or offline, your clients are finding you, they are sourcing you. So you need to be visible, you need to be in front of your clients rather than you sourcing them, okay? It's nice if you get that little exchange on social media. Maybe you post into a Facebook group, maybe someone comments on your Instagram post, they want to find out more, have that little exchange there. But, you know, essentially it's your student looking for you. So you need to make sure that you are showing up in the places where they hang out. If you are, for example, you are putting together a workshop for teens for them to, you know, appreciate how yoga can help them to reduce their exam anxiety, they're probably not going to be hanging out in their Facebook groups. Maybe their parents are. That's kind of one leg you could look at. But teenagers, you're going to have to get on TikTok and Snapchat or wherever the kids hang out. I don't know, I don't deal with teenagers. But, you know, make sure that you're being visible to your client base, the people that you want to have in your business, and make sure that as you show up, you are providing valuable content. We talk about this all the time. Content is so important. There's no point posting loads of random memes on your Instagram and your Facebook just to post something. It needs to be of value. You need to show your client that you are showing up for them, so that when they decide, right, now is the time, I'm going to start my yoga practice, let me go contact whoever you are, because I know that they, you know, hold a lot of knowledge and they provide a lot of valuable content for free. So imagine how good their classes are. I'm just going to send back a few little waves that are coming here on Instagram. Hi guys. So I'm talking right now about tips for new yoga business owners. All right. So moving on from being clear on what you're doing right now and being visible, my next tip would be to build connections. So not just connections with new students. Obviously, you're going to be building those all of the time, particularly if you're on social media, but connecting to establishments, connecting if you're working in studios and you want to work in studios, in gyms, just sending out, you know, a letter, letting people know, or a letter, how old am I? An email, contacting establishments, letting them know that you are in the area, that you're looking for cover work or to take on classes. If you run your own classes, reaching out and connecting with studios because you might want to go in and use their space, okay? Looking around at different venues you could use to host your events, making connections with the people that you will need to deal with for bookings, okay? Also making connections with other local teachers. I think a lot of the time yoga teachers can be a little bit, sometimes you can feel a bit standoffish with people, right? As if people don't want to connect with you. Oh, this is competition, you know, especially if someone is teaching your niche in your area. Reach out and make those connections, bridge those little bonds that you have with people. This will help you to pick up more clients, because I know full well if private people contact me for private classes, I don't take on private classes anymore, but I have 2 or 3 friends that do, so I pass on their contact details. I know that I don't teach, you know, yin or nidra classes, but I know other teachers that do. So if people contact me and they're interested in that, I can pass their details on to someone else. So the more connections you have, the more bridges and bonds you're going to build with your community around you. Obviously, we're reaching out and building connections with our audience and our followers all the time. Remember that social media is supposed to be social. I will not sit on social media all day personally, but if I post something, I'm going to make sure that I'm available for the next 30 minutes or an hour after that to connect with anyone that wants to comment on my post. If you send me a message or you comment on my social media post, I will absolutely reply to you, okay? So 1, this builds connection with your audience, and 2, really helps your SEO, your algorithm within your social media platforms. If social media can see that you're very antisocial, you can be antisocial in your real life, just make sure that you're social online. If social media, like Instagram for example, notices that people comment or they slide into your DMs and you don't reply to them, they're not going to show your content to people who might want to see it, to people who might become a new client of yours, okay? So make sure you're always building those connections. I know that I made the mistake in the beginning of my yoga teaching career. I was always thought to myself, I can't be arsed with social media. I was present on social media, but I wasn't necessarily social, and I think that definitely held me back in creating connections I could have done in the beginning of the business, okay? I'm gonna just wave to some people. Hi guys, thanks for joining me. Who's eating their lunch at the same time? I did think maybe lunchtime is a good time to do a little live. This worked out better for me today. Anyway, I'm digressing again. All right, fourth point I would like to draw to your attention is to invest, okay? Not only financially, but energetically. So telling yourself, I am energetically committed to making this class or this workshop work. Putting the effort in. And I know sometimes we can feel like we're making all the effort, but there's a reason that someone else in your niche is doing a little bit better than you are. If someone's classes are full, or their workshops fill up really quickly, or their online membership seems to have loads of people, there's a reason for that. You know, behind the scenes, so much work goes on. You need to invest that time into it. I think, you know, when you work in the studio model, if you're just studio hopping, already start to build those connections and have yourself a little time set aside where you know you're working on your own project. So that if someone came to you and said, oh, well, you've been teaching me for a while in XYZ studio, can I become a private student of yours, that you have a process in place where you can kind of take them through an initiation and start to bring them on board into your business, okay? So whether you work for yourself running your own projects or you work in studios, you need to invest time into knowing what you're doing, okay? Knowing where you're going with your business, as I said in point 1, having a direction and being clear, and just putting the effort in. Investing time into your business is so important. And I think a successful business, you know, there's a fine line between a business being a success and it being a flop. And that success is maybe waking up an hour earlier in the morning to work on your business before you start your day job or you start teaching, and, you know, thinking, I've got to get this done. This is really important for me to get this done in my business. If you feel like, you know, something isn't working out, maybe it's feeling like it's a bit of a flop at the moment, are you energetically putting in everything that you can? Are you dedicated to it, you know? I'm going to wave a couple more times now. Hi, Millie. And financial investment, okay? Really scary when you're first starting a business, right? But even small things like upgrading your booking site, okay? So that you have to do less work. Upgrading your digital mailing platform so that you can schedule your emails. Upgrading your social media posting software, if you use something like that, Hootsuite or later, so that you know that when you put your marketing plan or strategy into place, you have all of these softwares to help you, and you end up having to do a lot less work. It's a lot less weight on your shoulders. There's a lot less on your mind for you to have to deal with. If you invest that little bit of money, and if you get used to doing it from the beginning, it doesn't feel like it's, you know, such a big investment later down the line. I know a lot of people are really adverse to booking sites. If you've been running your classes for a while and then you start using a booking site, you have to pay merchant fees and everything. But to be quite blunt, you have to not be stingy. Don't be stingy when you're running your business, okay? Invest in the software and the equipment that's going to help to elevate your business to another level, okay? I'm going to give you a really crap example here. I'm sitting here, I've got 2 phones on me, 2 tripods, okay? Beginning of lockdown, the tripod that I had always used had broken. I was like, oh crap, I need to get online now. Let me order a quick tripod. I can't remember how much this one was, but it is an absolute piece of crap, and it literally lasted me 6 or 7 weeks before it started to get a bit flimsy. So then I had to reinvest and spend a little bit more money getting a much bigger and a much more solid tripod. So if I'd have just invested that money in the beginning thinking this is going to be a long-term investment, although I probably was hoping it wasn't going to be and we'd be back in the studios, if I was thinking this is going to be a long-term investment, I would have just upgraded and spent the extra money in the first place, okay? So now I have 2 tripods, One that's a little bit dodgy, sorry Instagram, you're on that one. And the other one I should have just invested in the beginning because it's made my life a lot easier, okay? So by upgrading your MailChimp, by upgrading your booking site, by paying those merchant fees, you're essentially gonna give yourself a lot less stress in the long run, okay? You're gonna have to deal with less, client interactions unnecessarily with your booking site. You're going to be able to schedule your advertising to go out, which is really, really important when you're putting a marketing strategy and plan into place, all right? Another investment, obviously, I coach, I mentor other teachers. I didn't learn for free, okay? I did not learn how to coach for free. I think as amazing as it is that there's so much free content out there, you can tune into all of the videos, all the podcasts, you can read the emails, you can do the free courses. It's definitely worth, this isn't a plug for me, it's a plug for any mentor that you find. It's definitely worth taking sessions with a mentor or taking a paid course that will keep you on track. When things are free, we tend to not be that dedicated to it, right? How many times have you offered a free class? Have you done a free online class? And loads of people have said, yeah, I'm gonna come. Then about 50% of those people will attend your freebie, okay? If somebody makes a financial investment, that means there's that dedication behind it. I will definitely come, even if I can't be asked, I have paid for it and I'm gonna get my money's worth, okay? So when you feel you're in a position to do so, invest in a course, invest in a mentor, invest in someone who can teach you a little bit more about what you need to know, okay? And these investments, they elevate your business and you make that money back in a much shorter period of time than you would if you are just kind of winging it. Leave wings to birds and eyeliner, okay? Do not wing it. Let someone else help you figure that stuff out. I'm gonna just wave to everyone that's joining. Hi, Kim. Okay, last point is to have a strategy and a plan in place always. Things can go tits up, coronavirus, all right? But have yourself a plan for your business. Have yourself a goal so you've got your end point and know where you're starting now and know everything you're doing in the middle to ensure that you get to this point and you make it a success, okay? Thinking to yourself, I'm going to run this workshop. I'm going to run a yoga nidra workshop and I'm going to start advertising it now and it's in 2 weeks' time. What advertising are you doing? How are you advertising? How are you taking bookings for that? How are you expressing it to your audience? How are you starting to drum up the interest from your audience before you even open your bookings, okay? Make sure that you've got a strategy in place, a plan, so that you know how you're going to arrive at point B from point A. Don't know why this is happening. Yeah, always make sure that you know where you're heading. Otherwise, you're just kind of heading out there. I personally wouldn't go on holiday without understanding how I'm going to get there, exactly where I'm going, and some things I might want to do when I get there. Does that make sense? So I wouldn't just jump into a business opportunity and say, right, I'm going to just do this and I'll just figure out as I go. If you're just figuring it out as you go, there's a strong possibility that it might be a little bit of a flop when you get there. I wouldn't just sit down with you guys today and think, right, I'm going to just sit here and ramble on. Like, I've thought through the things that for me, I wish someone had told me at the beginning of my business building journey, and I've written them down. I have a whiteboard right here. I've written them down because I want to get from the beginning of this session to the end of the session and hope that I provided at least 1 or 2 pieces of valuable information, okay? So you can't expect to think, this is my goal. I've got no idea how I'm going to get there, but I'm just going to get there, okay? You need a strategy, you need a plan in place, all right? So just to recap, I need to wiggle because I've got a really sore left hip today. So just to recap, be clear on what you are doing, what you're focusing on in your business right now. You can have many branches of your business tree, but make sure that you always know exactly what you are working on, okay? Secondly, be visible and remember that your clients are going to find you, not you find them. So make sure that the content that you are posting and the way that you make yourself visible is going to be in line with your client and your target audience, okay? Making sure that if someone searches online for the service that you offer, that you are going to come up and you are going to be visible. Build connections with studios, build connections with people that do a similar job to you, build connections with teachers that you might be able to work on like an affiliate basis with, where you can pass clients if necessary, okay? Help to grow your network, make sure that you've got connections. You know, also, I forgot this as a side point, as a freelancer, it can be quite lonely, like you don't have a team of people that you can talk to about your day, and maybe you've got a partner at home and you can come home and rant about your day and just, vent a little bit of stress. But if they don't work in your field, it's really difficult for them to understand. So just by having a couple of other teachers around you, or, whatever field you're in, a couple of people around you that understand what you're going through, it's really, really helpful. It's nice to have yourself a support network. So build those connections, invest in your business, invest your energy, and be dedicated to that investment, and invest financially, especially in the beginning, setting up those software programs that you have. Spend a little bit more money, even though it feels scary, because that investment will help you to draw more money into your business, okay? And lastly, make sure that you have a plan and a strategy in place. Have you, for example, we are moving into the last quarter of 2020. Do you know what you want for the last 3 months of the year? Do you know what you want for the first quarter of 2021? And have you got a plan in place now that you're going to execute to make sure that you reach that goal? Okay, because now is the time, especially for 2021. I know that we don't know what's happening with this world. It is a shit show, but let's just do our best. If you have a plan in place and you feel organized, if things kind of go a bit tits up and you have to jiggle it around a bit, you're going to feel a lot less stressed than if you were just winging it, thinking, oh my God, I was going to post to social media every day this week and now I can't even run my class. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. Hope you were having a little bit of a lunch or a coffee while you joined me for today's session. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know. You can send me a direct message, or if you're in the community group, you can drop a post in there if you want to. Let me know what you're doing in your business right now, and let me know your plans for the end of this year and the beginning of 2021. Let me know what your strategy is. I'd be really interested to hear it. So I hope you have a really nice day, guys. I'm going to upload this onto YouTube. I'm also going to leave it on IGTV and in the community. So if you want to go back and watch through it all again, listen again. I know I talk very, very fast. You're probably going to need to. It's there so you can find it again. Have yourself a really great day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.